All right, go.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with a... I can't do it. We'll do it live.
Okay. Go.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it, and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks again for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.
What is up, everybody? It's your boy Lou Martinez, aka Big Chief Burrito, live with you on a Thursday. Mi Gente Show. Had to cut the intro short because there's some Facebook issues with our music that we're allowed to use. Live on a Thursday, 2AM Burrito Network across all 2AM Burrito channels. Let's bring in our host, Miss Sofia Carrillo. Hey, Sofia.
Hello, mi gente, ¿cómo están?
¿Cómo están? ¿Cómo están? How you doing? You feeling better than last week?
I'm feeling so much better. Oh my God, I'm ready.
You ready?
Yes.
I feel like I'm a little bit of a Dutch angle, camera-wise.
A little bit, yeah. You're a little tilted. Yeah.
I'm a little tilted. I got my lean. I'm leaning tonight.
We're kind of matching too.
Yeah. Hey, I'll black everything. Okay. Thank you for stopping by, everybody, on the 2M Burrito Network. 2mburrito.com, facebook.com/2M Burrito, youtube.com/2M Burrito, twitch.tv/2AM Burrito, and you can also follow us at Mi Gente Show across all platforms, Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
And soon to be on Podbean and other as well, as we grow our little side project between me and Sofia, two Latinos and a microphone, as we react to the news of the week. And sometimes we have guests. Segue.
Foreshadowing, yeah.
Segueing and foreshadowing at the same time. And tonight's guest is somebody who I met at the San Diego Latino Film Festival this past year. I was honored to be a curator in charge of comedies. And as soon as I saw this filmmaker's film called Más Latina, and I told her this directly, it checked off all the boxes that we were looking for. It featured prominently issues and themes of Latinidad. It was created by and for Latinos, Latinas, Latins, etc., what have you, and it was funny, which was my main job. And so I invited her a couple of weeks back. We finally scheduled it, so wanted to bring her on, Miss Janeva Zentz.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here. Let me tell you, on the back end of this, it is nerve-wracking, that countdown and the intro and the, do you know what I mean? I was like, oh my God, it's about to happen. It's like a game show. Like,
no,
to be soaked in water is what I feel like.
I always forget to do it, but right here at the bottom of the screen, I see what you guys are doing, even though you're not on the screen. So it's always funny because I see Sofia like hyping herself up. She's like, ooh,
yeah,
ooh. She's like throwing punches. She's like shadow boxing, checking her teeth. She's getting ready.
Yeah.
And I always have to focus because I see her right here. But thank you for stopping by. Where are you joining us from tonight?
I am in the San Bernardino Mountains.
Ooh.
I'm out there. I live in the wilderness, which sounds so random. But yeah, that's Lake Arrowhead. I didn't even know about it till I moved here. Right next to Crestline, on the way to Big Bear is where I'm at.
Oh my God! No wonder it's so hot over there.
It's like it's a little bit cooler because the altitude. But are we feeding the dogs? What's happening?
Sorry. There's
We have
you know when you're like dinner.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I was actually stirring my coffee. Sorry. Apologize. I'll stir it with a plastic spoon. I'm sorry.
It's fine. I was giving a geography lesson, and I'm not good at geography, so.
Go ahead. Was that a necessity, or was that just a choice? Or I mean, I imagine that it's still close enough that you can make a meeting in Santa Monica if you have to.
Yeah, it's an hour and a half, like with no traffic, so you just gotta time things right and go super early, or leave when traffic dies down. But yeah, I'm booed up, and my husband is from like the country, like from Australia, like from Tasmania, like from like you could hear. He says it. He'll say it. He could hear it like a cow fart. Like that's how quiet he was. Like his area was, and like how far away he was from any kind of city or anything like that. And so we've been living in LA for a while because I'm originally from LA, and it just got to this point we were like, what are we doing here? You know, like I need to be here, but like maybe I don't need to be here every day, you know? And then pandemic was just like, well, let's do it. And it was like, okay,
Grand Exodus.
Grand Exodus. And it was pretty wild as a lot of people were on the same tip as we were. And so meeting all these really rad people that moved up here to the mountains. But we didn't know each other because the first year everyone was just kind of like still hunkering down, you know? And so that's been very sweet. And I'm in the process of organizing a stand-up show up here because I was like, I don't want to drive all the time to do like comedy. Can I get something off the ground here? And like, I'm sure there are funny people up here that would love to have a mic and a space and work on some jokes. And so if anyone's listening and they live in the mountains, hit me up. We're doing it. We're doing a stand-up show.
It's kind of like what Chappelle did in Ohio, right? Just pick a town and just invite a bunch of comics up there, do a show.
That's the vibe. That's totally the vibe. Yeah.
That's awesome. How long have you been doing stand-up comedy for?
I want to say started like in 2015, maybe a little bit in 2014, but I've been really kind of like I've been flow with it because as a multi-hyphenate, right, I would switch focus, and for Más Latina, case in point, like I really just focused really hard to make it. So there was definitely a period of time where I was not really writing jokes or going to mics or, you know, trying to get on a show or anything. So I'm excited. I can't wait to get back out there and it really just start from scratch again. Like I feel like so much of what I had pre-pandemic, I don't know about y'all, but like I feel like a completely different person than who I was 3 years ago, you know? And so maybe there's some themes that I might still like play with, but in terms of like the actual jokes I was working on, like I kind of just feel like start fresh, you know?
Obviously the main impetus of the movie Más Latina is you as a stand-up comic that's trying to find your voice, you know, try to find out what Latinidad means to you and what the voices inside your head are really telling you. So how similar to the movie was your finding your comedic voice?
Okay, so that's the big departure, I think, in the film, right? Like, because I feel like a lot of what the main character Gabby is going through is, you know, a lot of stuff is like pulled from my own life, but I don't really do characters like the way that she's doing a character on stage. But yeah, I definitely, like my mom, I had a single mom. And so it's funny, as an artist, I look at a lot of the stuff I make and so much of it is heavily influenced by her, you know? And so I would say, you know, there are definitely mom bits that's sticking around. But and Gabby does do that in Más Latina. She does make fun of her mom and her aunties. So I guess in that regard, I do make fun of my family, but every comedian does. So I don't know. Yeah.
I was able to share the film with Sophia. Obviously, I already knew all about it as we met at the festival. But Sophia, what did you think about the film, having watched it with fresh eyes this week?
Oh my God, I loved it. Like I fully loved. Well, first of all, Tia Mayra's my favorite. I saw so much of myself in Tia Mayra. Like I love her.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
That's probably who I will be, in a few years. But
Yeah, the one encouraging the kids to be wild and free.
oh yeah,
Um,
totally.
yeah.
Yeah. I also really love like the concept of it. It's the whole topic of like I feel like it's very relatable to feel like you're not Latina enough, especially when you're like coming from a Latin American first generation, maybe even second generation. And I know, your background is in comedy and filmmaking and all of that. So I kind of just want to know like what inspired you to do this in this tone and kind of like to focus on her building a caricature, I guess. Mhm.
Yeah, so I in 2017 made like this sketch video, and I think it's on YouTube. I could have shared it. Anyways, doesn't matter. Point is, I made this video and it was called How to Be Más Latina, and I put on a wig and I like did my best like Sofia Vergara impersonation, and it was like literally this, mamacita character who's teaching how to be Más Latina, which means you wear your heels when you take out your trash, which means your hair and your nails and all that's done when you're like cleaning the toilet in the house. And it was like this like mashup of like being a domestic goddess, but like I don't know, I feel like there is a pressure under the word Latina to be feminine and to be sexy. And I was like, whoa, I am onto something.
Yep.
Like I put on my detective hat and I was like, Google, like Latina. And then like all these hashtags came up and they were like MILF, like ass, like, like all the things that, okay, I'm not saying that's not Latina, but like, is that the only thing that's Latina, and it just sort of kind of spiraled from there where I was like, that's a lot of pressure for females, especially if you're like, let's say you're the breadwinner, your mom, you got kids, like, or you have no interest in like being feminine, and how do you fit in that, like under that umbrella term? And like, so I definitely wanted to show a spectrum in Más Latina of femininity, and also like different generations of Latinas to kind of just show how that evolves. But yeah, so that was really important to me, and I forgot the second part of the question, so
no, you're fine. I forgot it too. It's fine. I was just like enjoying it.
The one of the things that you touched on right now is, in terms of the theme of Latinidad as a first year curator at the festival, is one of the things that I struggled with the most, which was, there's all these thousands of submissions, and it's the San Diego Latino Film Festival. So we're looking for that representation, but Latinidad is it's not a monolith, and there's so many subsects and sections to it: Afro-Latino, Anglo-Latino, Indigenous Latino, Mestizo, and all these other different mixes that we have. So for me, one of the toughest parts was being able to watch a film, not see typically Latino faces on the screen, and then sort of having to do my research to make sure that the Latinidad was there. You know what I mean? Because
yeah.
So that was kind of like the tough part. And then, we would have these conversations with the festival people, and they'd be like, well, you shouldn't be, just because their last name sounds German or Scottish, it doesn't mean they're not Latino. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
So it kind of was weird to have to go through films and, is this movie Latino enough? And some of them were like, well, it's two white guys on screen, and but the editor was a Latino, and it was like, is that enough?
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, well, it's got to be either starring a Latino, directed, written, or produced by a Latino, or and then I think the last one was or edited, because that's kind of the second time you direct a film as well, and it has to deal with Latino issues. So, like I said, your film checked all the boxes, but just while you were talking about it, it is kind of a weird phrase to bring up, because it has so many sub subjects and stuff like that, and you basically just touched the. It was the tip of the iceberg, right?
Yeah, and honestly, and that's why I would have so much fun if it were to become a series, because I just feel like there's just so much there to unpack, but like in a fun way. Like for me, I know, at least with Mas Latina, like I was like, I don't want any kind of the traditional trauma that we see in our communities be the center piece, you know? And I don't want to bring it in to just create drama too, to keep watchers engaged as well. Like, so that was you know, and the tone, like what you said, the editing, like a lot of that was found in the editing. Like, you know, the script originally didn't have a lot of the, you know, the whips or the super, like the titling and all of that. And I knew some of it in my mind, but I didn't know how to write it at the time, especially like the makeup montage. Like I knew it was going to be layered and like fun, but I didn't know how to write that at that time. And so then, you know, it came time to edit it, and it was like, oh, okay, this is where you can really like fill that out, because you didn't have the words for it, but this is like a different part of the process. You can kind of like, you find those moments where you can I don't know, just take the story to another level. So that was pretty cool, to just, I don't know, I just learned so much from making this. So, and I'm just really happy that people are enjoying it, you know, and I want
can you expand a little bit? Can you expand on that a little bit? And in terms of, you know, because I know SD Latino was first, and you always remember your first. But how has the support? How have the different audiences? I know you were at LA Latino Film Festival and a couple of other ones here locally. How has the reaction from the different crowds been? Has there been anything that surprised you that people got out of it that maybe you didn't see, or something like that?
Okay, so I'll say that like there are sort of little technicalities about festivals where maybe it's a great festival, but you're there on a crappy day. Your screening time is on a crappy day or too early in the morning or something. So you just don't have that energy in the crowd that maybe you might want, you know? So every screening is different. But I will say it is one of the greatest feelings in the whole entire world to write something intended to be funny, and then people freaking laugh at the freaking thing they're supposed to laugh at. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then also equally as good is like, you don't realize that that's a funny part and people laugh at that. And you're like, oh. You know, so, and I think because the Gabby character is kind of an explosion of parts of me, I wasn't quite aware of some of the stuff that was in there, you know? And there is that scene with all the white dude comedians, and that really resonated with some folks, and it was very important to me, like, to have that and to have it cut the way that it was cut, so that it really just kind of grabbed your attention. And also you were like, yeah, they're all the same. Like, you know, we all know this comedy bro that, like, you know, is like, I don't know, Facebook, right? And you're just like, yeah, I just the way that they say it, their attitude or whatever. So, but to have that be singled out as like a pivotal moment, I was like, interesting. I like that, because it was important, but I love that that's, you know, resonating with some people that, that they see, okay, yeah, the comedy scene can be kind of male dominated sometimes. It's totally changing very quickly, but like not too long ago, it was very, I don't know, the energy in those spaces could be kind of challenging as a female, and especially if you don't have like a real kind of like loud kind of presence, and you're trying to take people through a story, you know, in your set. Especially if you don't have like a real
sorry about that.
Like,
my
that's all right.
Loud. Wow.
Sorry. Take people through a story.
Technical difficulties.
I'm just gonna go kill myself now.
My screen. My screen.
Listen to myself.
My
it's
screen.
It's always the worst, isn't it? I have trouble rehearing these podcasts as
Yeah,
well. I'm like, no.
the whole reason that we record the podcast live is like I hate editing myself. So this is what was it was that tough?
Yes, yes, it
was
was.
rough.
You kidding me? Like, I'd be like, oh, why is my face doing that? But I need that moment, so I have to just freaking use it. You know, like get over yourself. Like, so I think it gets easier, but yeah.
On your previous point, I had a question. Because you are a comedian in such a male-dominated industry, have you ever felt like you needed to become a character of yourself, kind of like Gabby, or be more loud, or be more, I don't know, rambunctious, I guess, to get heard, just like the white dudes?
Yeah, I think my response was to lean into being more asexual, like like I was like, I don't like the I don't know. I was just like, I'm gonna try and be a boy on stage. I don't know. Like, I guess that sort of like was my
like the totally
initial...
opposite of it.
Yeah, that was kind of my reaction. And then I think I learned over time that like sometimes when comedians aren't super loud, you know, you kind of lean in a little bit and you're like, wait, what? And you can sometimes you can use that to your advantage. So I was like, well, okay, well, I don't know, something about that interests me. Like, can I hold the space without having to output a whole ton, you know? So, but it's all a work in progress. And like I said, I'm rusty. I haven't been out there in a minute, so I don't know. But I think also I have seen in early days, like, not necessarily myself, but sometimes people move around too much. Like they got that frenetic energy because they're nervous, and you're like, it's not helping the joke. And you're like, where are you going? What are you doing? Why do you need to be over on that part of the stage? And this, you know, so I don't know. I'm kind of nerding out on stand-up right now, but
I love it.
Do you remember? I mean, yeah, we could talk. You got to punch that joke up, or you got to close it, or tag it, or you know all the inside comedy bits. Do you remember the first joke you wrote?
That was funny.
Or that you tried and that you were like, hey, maybe this is funny.
I think the first joke I was ever really proud of was about queefing.
Yes.
And that felt really vulnerable because I was like, I'm taking like it just starts off like I queef in yoga, and then it's like this confessional, and then I wrap it up. There's like a tiny little story in there, and then that calls back to the queef, and so, but it all started with this just sort of like, it came out like I queef in yoga, like, and it instantly got laughs, and I was like, oh my god, okay, there's a whole thing there, like, and so I think that's like the first, I don't know, a little breakthrough moment or whatever, and yeah, so that's what comes to mind.
There's nothing funnier than a queef. That's all I'm gonna say.
As somebody who wrote a movie about a female painter that painted with her period blood, and her name was Georgia O'Keeffe, I respect that. All right, so it was right there. We were trying to figure out another name for her, but it was like, it's right there. It's staring you right in the face. It's Georgia O'Keeffe.
Georgia O'Keeffe, yeah.
That was it.
I went to art school originally, and one of my roommates in my first year, I come into the dorm because the first year everyone lived on campus, and she's there for her drawing class, drawing her vagina, but like in the common area, like with a mirror like up facing, I was just like, okay, I like what you're doing. I just need boundaries. Like I was just like,
First of all, girl power.
The level of commitment.
I love your girl boss can do attitude.
Yeah.
But let's talk about this real quick. let's better direct this energy that you have definitely here.
Was that the first time that you lived outside of your home or family?
Yeah, I think yeah. I definitely had traveled a bit, but yeah, New York was a little bit of a shocker, right? Like,
Where did you go to school in New York?
I went to Cooper Union, which is in the East Village, and super cool area. Like, although the last time I went was a few years ago, and I was like, man, this place sucks now. It was just like every corner had an ATM, every other corner was a Walgreens. Like, none of the cool shops were around anymore because they can't afford rent. I was like, this is sad. Like, because you want to go back and like reminisce and go to like, oh, this is the old, bookstore I would go to or whatever, and like a lot of that
Old
was
New York.
gone. Yeah. So,
Yeah, I went to HB Studios in the Village for acting and stuff like that back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
and where did you live in New York when you were there?
I grew up in Queens, but I was on the 7 train to Manhattan 3 or 4 times a week. So, and then I also lived on the Upper West Side for a while. So, I live right off of Central Park and 102nd.
Do you miss it?
I don't miss it as much because of how awesome San Diego and Southern California is.
And it's pretty sweet.
See, I came out here and it was like burritos and weed, and I was like, all right, I'll take this over winters and good pizza.
2 a.m. burrito is like the best handle.
Yeah, it's a time and a place, as I like to say.
Time and place. It's like, yeah, I mean, I've never had a bad burrito at 2 a.m. Like,
that's what happens. That's what happens. In New York, you get a slice of pizza in the Village, or you go to a diner. In San Diego or Southern California, you get a burrito. In LA, it could be either way. It could be like burrito, tacos, TJ,
Yeah.
hot dogs wrapped in bacon.
Oh,
if you're drunk,
Those smell so good, but
They taste even better.
Did you have anything else about the movie, Sophia? From Sophie's
I did-
movie review.
I did kind of want to ask, how did you go about the casting? Because I thought the cast was like impeccable.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, that was tricky. So I wrote Tia Mayra with Andrea Garcia in mind. I had already met her, and I just loved her energy, and we really hit it off. And I went to her with like a really early version of the script, and she just was like, "Yes, Mika, yes, we're gonna do this." Like, she was just very supportive and positive, and you need those people in your corner, you know what I mean? And she was just like, anything that I felt was too challenging, she would offer. She was the hype girl, and be like, "You got this. Don't worry. Like, don't stress. Like, it's gonna be fine." And then meanwhile, you're still stressing, but it's nice to have somebody telling you that it's gonna be all right on the other end. So that was cool. She was locked in, and then the mama. Whew,
Consuelo.
Man.
yeah, Mayra knocked it out of the park. Mayra Perez. She's from Costa Rica, and had never acted before. I mean, she's lived in the U.S. for decades now, but she's such a proud tica. And
Pura vida.
yeah, baby. And she donated the house, the location, to film at. And she's very good friends with Andrea Garcia, who played Tia Mayra. So I'm having trouble finding this mom character. Like, I cannot find. Let's be honest. It's like a no-budget film, right? And it's like, so it's non-union, and then you don't have tons of time to cast either, because you're kind of moving quick. And so, like, I had a small window to find someone, and I couldn't find someone. And we're at the location. We're like kind of just scouting and figuring out where we're going to block and shoot things. And my DP and then co-director, they were like, "You and Mayra have chemistry, actually. Like, what if she played the mom?" And I was like, let's do it, because I rather have a genuine connection with someone rather than throw an actor in there who I don't think is right just because they're an actor, And and so some of that was found in the editing too, like, kind of finding her best, which is what you do. You find the best little bits. But she was great. She was just wonderful. What I loved is she had that poker face, and I really wanted a mama that wasn't super performative, because I feel like we've all seen, the angry chancla throwing mama. You know what I mean? Yeah, and it's like, she's there, she exists, but she's not every mama. And so I was like, I need to have more of a like gangster.
One of
cold gangster.
One of the things that I told her when I met her at the festival, which is that actors go to school and take lessons to try to mimic that sort of dry performance that she put on so naturally.
Yeah.
And it was almost like this had to be either somebody that's a complete amateur or somebody that's studied for years. No in between.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that is why some directors do play that non-actor card. You know, they find someone who just, it's that pure reaction, and they don't need to do all the actor work to get there, you know?
Yeah.
So that was really wonderful. And if there were to be more Más Latinas, I would try to keep her. I'd be like,
Absolutely.
Maida's the mom.
Yes.
You have an option of a 25-city comedy tour, a secondary but important role in a Amazon limited series, or you can direct a or you can direct a feature-length version of Más Latina. What do you? They all pay the same. They're all going to take the next 3 months of your life. Which do you take? Comedy, acting, or directing?
Wow.
Okay. No, I'm gonna try to answer this honestly.
Or you can do you could do F, Marry, Kill with it too.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
What just happened?
I don't know.
The anticipation. What happened?
The anticipation. she muted
She did this
herself
on purpose.
Oh no, she needed extra time, so she called an audible on her headphones. You're muted. Just take your time. We'll vamp for you. Don't worry about it. We're here. All right, we are. Oh, are you back?
Oh, she's back.
Okay, she's back.
I'm back. Yeah, the connection dramatically dropped there, but
that was a very loud queef, by the way.
Yeah.
That was
like all of the Lake Arrowhead lost power. Like,
now go ahead.
I was gonna say the third option.
Which was the
the feature length, and I get to direct it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like to see where people's go for it.
You're not very convinced. Which one would you pick?
I don't know. I don't think I've always thought that I had stand up in me. Like I think I got like a type 5 that if I had to go on stage, there's stuff that I think about in my mind that like, oh, I got this thing about dildo protocol, like, you know, like what's the rules in how fast in a relationship can you bust out a dildo that's in like an old Ziploc bag with like some moth protectors in there, or do you have to bust out a brand new one on like date 6? You know, what's gonna make? And I have some other bits and family stuff and shit like that, but I've never had the balls to really go to open mics and to jump out there and start doing that. Like I feel like if I dedicated myself to doing that I could probably get out there for a little bit and get some laughs, but I love editing and writing and producing content, and being more funny here, I think, is easier for me. So for me, it would always kind of skew towards directing and making rather than performing. Although if you told me, hey Lou, we can book you and you can have a radio show nightly, 2 hours a night, this and that, I'd be like, I dreamt about that as a kid. Just me in a microphone talking dead air. Give me that.
Yeah.
Sophia? I doubt you. Oh man.
You got the 3 options. You got a stand-up comedy tour. I'm interviewing the interviewers. This is what
I know,
do.
right?
This is what I do.
This is where we turn the tables.
Seriously. Oh man, that's hard.
Supporting role in an Amazon Prime series or direct to feature.
Which one is acting one? I mean, I love acting. Yeah, so that's the Amazon Prime one, that one?
That's yeah.
I love acting, so that's my thing, that's my bread and butter. I would choose that one. Although I do want to dabble in directing eventually. There's a script that I very passionately want to direct. And I think I might like that as well, but acting is my number one. So
and we need you. We need actors. I think my second would be the tour, the stand-up comedy tour. But here's the thing. I kind of want to do something like you know Mike Birbiglia? He always does like these, they're kind of like storytelling plays one person shows with
Mm-hmm.
jokes. Like, and those take forever to make, you know, like they just take so long to write and test and like build out. So I think that would be option 2. Something like that would be really fun.
Tales from Más Latina. Tales of Latinidad.
Yeah.
You just have a whole bunch of Latino comics out there telling different stories.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a
Love
favorite Latino comic? I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop asking questions. Fire me.
No, please,
Fire me.
please,
Fire.
please. On my other podcast, we used to have segment 3 where the interviewee got to ask all the questions. I think that fuck. There's a couple of new ones that I don't know. I'm not a big Fluffy fan. I mean, but I mean, Rodriguez is probably the GOAT in terms of Latino comics. You know, I Can't Brief and all those classic bigs. I think for me, but I don't like Iglesias. Obviously, Mencia used to steal jokes, and right now, George Lopez. George Lopez, I think, would probably be the GOAT right now.
Yeah, for me it's Sofia Niño de Rivera. I love her content.
Freaking love her.
Isn't she amazing?
She's so good.
Yes.
She's so good. It blows my mind because I'm like, where did you? How? What? Like Mexico has incredible stand-up. Like
so many. Yeah.
No, but she's really funny. Like, and yeah, she's great. I'm down.
She's amazing. She's been my favorite lately. So.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions for us?
Wow.
You like the slapworthy intro? You said you were watching that. She'll give us a review of Sophia's performance when she gets a chance
that
to
was my
finish.
first acting ever, and I was like little. I was a baby. I had baby fat on me still.
Aw,
So
no.
do not review me based on that performance. Thank you.
She did a great job.
Yeah.
Besides the comedy and the writing and stuff like that, would you if you were in an alternate reality where you had like a day job, what do you think you would be doing?
I think I would work in a restaurant. I think I think I would have like my own little coffee shop. You know what I mean? And like really dial it in. Like it has like just like 3 items on the menu and like a cute art gallery in the back. Like, and then if this is like a fantasy, I would be a good chef. Like I'm an okay, like I get the job done. You know what I mean? But like I'd be good. I'd be like freaking just, you know, fucking empanadas or like whatever in there. I don't know.
I would so go to that. Oh my god.
Yes.
Empanadas. What are and your background is from Guatemala or right. Do they what are Guatemalan empanadas like? A little bit different from.
I don't even know if they really do them, to be honest. I just kind of said that, but like I think one of the main things that I like miss, because you really can only get them there, are like the Guatemalan style tamales, which are like paches, which are like in the palm leaf. I hope I'm not messing this up, but it comes in whatever I love. It comes in the palm leaf, and the masa is like a mix of like rice flour and a little bit of corn flour, I want to say, or maybe it's just all rice flour. And it has, you know, your stewed meat in there, but they put like weird things too, like olives or like a sweet thing with a savory in the middle, and you unfold it and you eat it with like a fork, because it's just like it's too wet, but it's like a meal. It's just like the whole thing is a meal in a leaf. Like
hey, can't go wrong with tamales, whether they're from Guatemala or Mexico or Colombia. Really. We all make tamales. They're all awesome. There's no
all
difference.
Awesome, literally. Yeah.
I mean, like
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No.
I was just gonna ask. You said multi-hyphenate earlier. Like, what are the hyphens? What are all of them?
All of them, yeah. So writing, comedy. I like performing just to get in there and have fun. But it's But then I'm moving into directing. But it's just so weird. Like, because I only have Más Latina under my belt. It feels hard. Like I feel like I can't claim it quite yet. Like I need to do more. And so that's what I'm working on right now. Is like. Writing a short right now that I'm trying to get a grant for, and that would be something that I would direct as well. And so Yeah.
Do you ever see
So
yourself
kind of just
acting
building that
more?
out. I think for me, like I recently auditioned and I hadn't auditioned in forever, and I got a call back, and the callback is this Sunday and it's virtual.
Congrats.
Hello, how do you do callbacks virtual? I don't know.
I don't know.
But I was like, okay, you still got it. But here's the thing, I only submitted because I had a personal connection to the character. I was like, you know what? I've been there. I know what that's like. I have a entry point into this circumstance. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. It's a no-brainer. So, but some of the shoot dates might conflict with festival dates in September. So now I'm like, kind of like, ugh, this thing. I created a problem for myself.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey, number one, the minute you write and you direct and you say action, you're a director. So own that, please, because it took me a long time. It took me probably until my third or fourth film when I finally got to say, when I finally felt, because the first few films my writing partner Brian wrote, I directed, I shot them. And then finally when I did Slapworthy, it was my first written and directed by. And that's kind of finally when I felt more comfortable saying it and owning it. I'm a director. But it's you know, don't please own it early. It's gonna do nothing but help you, and you know, don't worry about it. You know, like you have a very well made, well conceived, funny short film. For a first time filmmaker, it is impressive. And you know, you're a filmmaker, you're a director, you're a colleague. So own that shit, okay? Own it. Do it. Just do it.
like you're like push-ups in the back.
Wow.
I'm trying to hype you up here. Don't worry about it. All right, we are live here on the Mi Gente Show, live recording our pod with Miss Janeva Zentz from Más Latina. You can find her on the tubes, on the Twitter, on Instagram. You can look for Más Latina. You can check her out. Coming to a festival near you as it continues its run. But as always, I found it first, so I'm gonna be I'm gonna be a Más Latina truther. Is like, oh yeah, you saw it at that festival? I found it out of 100 movies that I watched a year ago. Yeah, I was like scrolling through the movies and going through it. Want to remind everybody that to please make sure you're following us across all social media platforms. Here are the updated ones. And follow me at Big Chief Burrito on Instagram or Twitter, and at Sophia Carr as well. And get us to the promised land. Sorry, I blanked out for a second here. I was reading our chat. What festivals do you have coming up?
Okay, I could say one of them.
Okay.
New Filmmakers LA, Los Angeles. That's gonna happen on. Oh, hold on. I need to open a spreadsheet.
And you were in Philadelphia Latina, right?
Yeah, Philadelphia Latino Film Festival Series Fest, which is fabulous. Highly recommend Series Fest for anyone that has like a pilot or a web series. If you have a web series, you can kind of submit a few of the videos as like a package. And then San Diego was the first screening, our premiere. And then LA Latino International Film Festival. What is it? That's 5? Oh, Starable Fest, which is kind of also a newer festival, and that's just for digital content. So if you again have pilots, series like independently done, it's a great space for that because they hook up meetings. So basically, they kind of send your stuff to their kind of network of industry people, and then if they're like, yeah, this kind of vibes with what we're interested in, or we want to meet this person. So that was really good. So I recommend all of those. those were all really great experiences. So, and the one thing that I really loved about San Diego, I will say, is that I think the festival does so much throughout the year to like really like there's all the community stuff through like the kids, right? The kids cinema and just like all kinds of stuff. I get the emails. I'm like, you guys, like, they're killing it, like doing all sorts of stuff. And then what that means is like, I was impressed. There were like people there who weren't necessarily filmmakers that are just like, yeah, I have a festival pass. I'm here to see stuff. You know, I live here in San Diego. And I thought that was really cool because at least in our screening, it made for a really special screening, I thought. So
Yeah, not to brag, but people in the post festival breakdown, several people did note that people's favorite showcases were the comedy festivals. You know, so you know.
Yeah.
A little roof raise.
First time curator too, right?
Knocked it out. Well, yeah. Well, Slapworthy was in the festival. What was it, like fucking 5-7 years ago now?
Yeah.
And ever since then, when it went pandemic, I was like, and I would go to the festival after that, and I would tell them, I would see Miguel and Juan and the other people that were running the festival. They would be running back and forth crazy, going to go do Q&As and this and that and this and that. And I'd be like, if you guys ever need help with that, like, that's easy for me.
Yeah.
Like that, like I didn't eat, like I would. Okay, confession time. Sometimes I would do Q&As of movies that I hadn't seen, and nobody knew the difference. I'd be like, so the lighting. And then I would just let the director go and be like, yeah, so the lighting was inspired by them. I'm just kidding. I only did that a couple of times in case of emergency. It was only a couple of times. So I started being more involved. When I went to pandemic, I did more of that for them, but virtually. And then I've always wanted to stay with the festival. And I just wrote them this long list of ideas, and I was like, the festival's getting a reputation as like an immigration porn festival. All the films are very serious about very serious issues. We're a San Diego Latino Film Festival at the border. There's no way we can shy away from that, but we need to add some comedy, add some different stuff to it, because a lot of filmmakers think that the only films that go to San Diego are not really genre films. It's mostly, like I said, immigration trauma stuff.
Yep.
So I was like, you need more comedies. You need to do this. You need to do that. You need to do that. And then they were like, well, why don't you do that? And I was like, me? And they're like, for money. And I was like, yeah, listen, yeah. I was like, I was gonna do it for free. I was like, yeah. I was. So yeah. I'm. And there's a lot of festivals, and I was gonna talk about this with you as well as a filmmaker. And I always tell filmmakers that there's a lot of festivals that you'll get into for free. There's a lot of them that'll charge you extra, and you'll get guaranteed laurels. There's an entire industry out there that's based on taking money out of our pockets.
It can be very predatory, yeah, dude.
Virtual screenings where they just rent out one ballroom for one day, and then they have like a podium and a step and repeat, and then that's it, and then. So be very careful where you spend your festival budget. And the reason that I gave San Diego Latino my time is because I know how other festivals are run. Some other festivals that you go judge for, they'll be like, yeah, if you don't like the movie after 5 minutes, you can stop watching it, just give it a rating. And I was just like, wow. I was like, damn, man, if people are paying you $40-$50 submitting to your festival, at least you can do is watch their fucking movie. Or pay filmmakers to watch their movies. Like, there's got to be around. So I will back them up forever because of that. And even though our films were just more like adult, a lot of dick jokes, a lot of fucking, you know, like the Latino Kevin Smith type deal. They've always accepted us. They've always taken our films, you know, when they were warranted. And so yeah, absolutely. I'm glad that you were a part of it, and I'm glad to be a part of it in general. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah. On the festival tip, like at first I like didn't know Más Latino would get into anything. Like, you know, you don't know. You're sort of like, I think maybe the next time around I'll have a sense of it, but like, so they kind of came in like this, right? And so then I got caught up in that, and I didn't keep submitting. You know what I mean? And then I had a moment to like take my breath, and I was like, oh, let me see what else I can get. You know. Yeah. So yeah, there's like a whole way to approach the festival run, and you know, you just try to get the most you can out of it.
And always ask
And-
for waivers. Always
Always
see
look
what.
for waivers,
Always
yeah.
look. Always see what they've done before. Always kind of take a look at the judges and the niche that they're going. There's a lot of them that are looking for specific things, and sometimes you think your film is perfect for a festival, you won't get accepted because they also had 80 other films. And as somebody who had to make hard decisions on films getting in,
yeah.
it's a lot of it's getting to see how the sausage is made is a bitch sometimes.
Right. Did it do your head in?
Dude, I was like all in. I opened up the Film Freeway portal. We had 800 submissions last year through open submissions, and probably about 90 of them were qualified as comedies, and there was probably another 50 to 60 that were comedies, but they didn't bother to check that it was a comedy because it was like comedy was something else. So I had to watch probably about 150 movies altogether and cut that down to what the 2 comedy showcases were like 7-8 films each, and then 3 features. So out of 150, I had to cut down to like 12-15 films. And we got a cat. We got animals.
Yay!
So yeah. So I cheated though. I watched all the short 1-minute movies first so that I could start getting a body count. And they'd be like, Lou, how many movies you watched so far? I was like 30. And they're all like, I just sorted by comedy and the shortest ones. And then finally I was like, all right, boom, boom. And then people would tell me, hey, watch this one, watch this one, watch this one. I would watch it like, boom, this one's going in. So yeah, the festival circuit can be a hard place for people. Choose your budget, choose your entries wisely. And really, honestly, even though it feels good to submit to Sundance, you have the lowest chance ever to get into Sundance, and you have and stuff like that. So I would say save a little bit of your money. We've been talking with Janeva Zentz from Más Latina and her film and her festival run and her comedy. She'll be doing Comedy in the Mountains soon at some point. And
Zelda's in the house. How do I?
And
Zelda.
Zelda.
Zelda, there you go. She's like, all right.
She's like, whatever.
Yeah, that's all right. That's
Sorry
all
about that.
right. We got dogs. We got cats. Sophia's got 3 dogs. I got 3 dogs.
I do.
That's the whole thing.
3 dogs. Yeah.
I do know that you are pressed for time, so I do want to get to one last thing that we do with but you are welcome to hang around as long as you want. You know that. So, but I don't want to. I want to make sure we don't miss this, which is something that I want to do 2 bits with you because since you're here, we're gonna do this and we'll do an anonymous way, and then we'll get you out of the way, and then me and Sophia will chat. All right. Okay. But this is something that we like to call.
All right, boys and girls, you know what that sound means. It's time for bracket bid. Bracket bid. Bracket bid. Woo, 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 woo. Bracket bid. Bracket bid. Woo, 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 woo.
Fireside chats.
That is right.
Wrong show, Lou.
Well, this is an interview, and when I do interviews, I do bracket bits.
Bracket bit, yeah.
So even though this is Mi Gente Show, that's the graphic from Fireside Chats with Big Chi Burrito. Dizzy Miss Lizzie loves the brackets. Thank you for stopping by, Dizzy Miss Lizzie.
Lizzie.
Follow her on Twitch for all your gaming needs. Geneva, your movie is called Más Latina.
Yes.
You're a director and a filmmaker in LA. So for today's bracket, I would have chosen the Más Latina bracket. I'm going to give you 2 Latina actresses, performers, icons, and you're going to tell me which one of them moves on to the next round. Now, the methodology can be which of these 2 would I like to direct in my next project, which one of them would I like to play in a movie, which one do I think is funnier, whatever you want, okay? So the methodology that you use to solve the bracket is yours to choose. I will provide the bracket. You will solve it. Are you ready?
I guess.
It's not that difficult. All right, we're going off. It's called Más Latina bracket.
All right.
All right, in the first round, we have Salma Hayek or Michelle Rodriguez. She's been in multi-billion-dollar movie franchises, and Salma is just Salma.
Hey, Salma, man. I mean, dude, she, like, what she went through to make Frida, that, like,
And yeah, and again, this is also the time, we didn't talk about all these people, that if you want to expand on any of these people and what they mean to you or whatever, if you're a fan, go ahead. So Salma moves on. Michelle Rodriguez, tough lady, but I think maybe she's a little bit better than the Fast Furious movie. I'd love to see her in something else, but if she could just, if all she has to do is make one of those every year and pay her bills.
We just gotta call her agent. Be like, diversify this one. Like,
Yeah,
come on,
yeah.
put her out there.
You know, maybe after they made 11, she'll have so much money that she'll just go do indies. That's right.
Ooh.
All right, we have Maria Conchita Alonso, an icon, or Zoe Saldana, who went to my high school.
Zoe, baby.
You don't know that
she
Zoe?
really?
Yeah, Zoe Saldana, and this
What?
is and at least I have something to talk to her about if I ever meet her. But she went to my high school. She was a junior when I was a senior, and I was the lead in the plays my junior and senior year. So if she was into acting, in my brain, I'm like, she had to know that I existed. And I don't remember her being in any of the drama classes or anything like that. And so in my mind, I'm like, I could have married Zoe Saldana.
What?
No, but yeah, she did go to
like-
Newtown. She went to
Like,
Newtown.
so close.
Yeah,
So close and yet so far. So in my mind, I'm gonna meet her one day at a Hollywood party, and she's gonna be like, "You asshole, you ignored me," and I'm gonna be like, "No, I'm sorry." I don't know. I don't
You don't
remember.
remember her?
Yeah, that's the whole point. I don't remember her, and I don't know if she was into acting or not. Sophia, there were 500 fine ass Dominican girls in my high school. It was in the middle of Queens in the 90s. So I
We
don't.
feel so bad for you.
That's
No. Woe is
So you went to the most culturally diverse high school in the whole world. Fuck you. Fuck you, Lou. All right. All right. Anyway, Zoe's moving on. Rosie Perez, and I can't say this name. Sophia, help me out here.
Xochitl Gomez.
Xochitl Gomez or Rosie Perez.
It's Rosie, baby. Rosie, man.
All
For
right.
me. For me. That yeah. And like she's just such a great actress, and like I want to see her latest project because I heard she really, really went raw and deep, and like it was because she's got a TV show or something good.
Yeah, from White Man Can't Jump to
my
Pineapple
God.
Express.
I'm looking at these other brackets. Oh my
All
God.
All right. All right, we got AOC, or the person that would most likely pay AOC in a movie, Eva Mendes.
That's true. That's so true.
Right? Who else would play AOC? Eva Mendes.
Okay, Geneva, what are you?
Or maybe Rosario Dawson.
Probably. I could see that. Wait, Rosario.
I could see that.
I could see
And
that.
Rosario Dawson
Are you
as
judging this
AOC.
based who you were cast, or what are you judging this bracket on?
It's up to her. She can phone a friend. She can ask you for help.
No, that's what I'm
Okay.
asking her.
This bracket, okay. Oof. Okay, listen. I got a soft spot for Eva, but I'm gonna go with AOC because we really need her. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's she'll
come
make her a
on.
superstar. Let's wrap her up in plastic and make sure
Yeah.
she's president in 18 years.
Yeah, bulletproof
All right.
vest, all of it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, we got Jenna Ortega or Justina Machado.
I'm gonna say Justina. I like her spunk.
All right. Gloria Estefan or Kate del Castillo.
Wait, hold on.
Are you Googling Kate del Castillo?
No.
No.
Jenna Ortega. To be honest, I was like, wait a minute. Actually,
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know who she is.
Are you going with
Wait.
Jenna Ortega over Justina Machado?
No. I'm sticking, but because
Okay, that's fine.
yeah.
Do your research.
Oh,
This is an open book test. Go ahead.
Oh shit. Yeah, good. Because I'm totally now. I'm like,
No, please go ahead.
Fucking notes. Okay. Kate del Castillo.
Kate del Castillo. Ooh, hey,
Por
hey.
qué?
One of them was the Senate membership. The other one got an interview still with Chapo, so they both had their own thing. Shakira or Leslie Grace.
Who's Leslie Grace?
Who's Leslie Grace? I'm Googling.
Hold on.
Leslie Grace. I'm sure she's great. Let's see.
I'm sure she's great.
Singer?
In the
Okay.
Heights girl.
Oh, and she's Batgirl.
Oh, that too.
Shakira's
Okay.
single, by the way, also.
You know, it's Shakira though, because she's so iconic. Like, come on, like.
We're all Googling.
We're all Googling. Yes, Lizzie.
Like,
Or
if
asking
I
Alexa. Alexa, who is?
If
You
I
put her
didn't
up against
try
Shakira.
and shake my hips like Shakira, like everyone did, right? All right, let me
Yeah.
close this door.
Okay.
Saki.
Next one.
All right. The two Annas, Anna Taylor-Joy or Anna de Armas?
I'm gonna say Ana de Armas because like she was so good in for me she stole the show in 007. I was like
I wanted more
Yes,
time.
yes.
I was like, her character was underutilized. She was brilliant. So I love her.
As I've said many times before, because my girlfriend doesn't listen to the podcast, if we were driving and Ana de Armas was at a bus stop, I would kick my girlfriend out to pick up Ana de Armas. And I can make that joke freely because she doesn't listen to the podcast. But anyway, Ana de Armas can do no wrong. And Anna Taylor-Joy, our favorite vanilla binner, she can stay home. She got that Queen's Gambit money. She'll be fine.
Yeah, she
All
did.
right.
Yeah.
And the Northman. She was great in the Northman, too.
True.
All right. Isa Gonzalez or Rita Moreno?
Isa. What did you say? Isa? Come on.
Isa.
I think if I don't say Rita, like, I feel like something bad will happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
I mean, she's an icon. I mean,
Yeah.
but, you know, do you really want to work with her now? She probably can only work for like a couple hours at a time, you know? I'm just saying. She'd have to be a cameo if you were going movie, like, wise, you know. But she is an icon. We got to give her the first round at least.
Yeah, at least the first round. Totally.
Right.
Yeah.
So Sophia's main crush, Stephanie Beatriz, or Yalitza
Yalitza.
Yalitza.
This one hurts. This is hard. This is very hard. Because Stephanie is out there and she is hustling for so many of us, like trying to like. But then Yalitza's such a breakthrough.
Also, shout out to our MBs watching. Happy Non-Binary People's Day today, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Since Steffi's out there for the
Beatrice.
bye. Yeah.
Doing number
Beatrice.
19. Yep.
All right.
Nice.
All right. And these two are kind of interchangeable for me.
Yeah.
Jessica Alba, who now sells soap or something, and Melissa Fumero.
Of course she does.
I'm gonna do Melissa.
Melissa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Natalie Martinez or Eva Longoria. Now, I had to Google Natalie Martinez, but she was on a bunch of Latino lists. She was in a few.
Singer? I don't know.
No, she was an actress like 2006, 2010. She was pretty popular for a minute, but I don't know.
Oh, I think I might have had a crush on her. Hold on.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, she's hot.
Yeah, she's hot, but she.
Who's the other one? I mean, Ava.
Ava? All right, Ava.
Yeah.
She's a classic. All right.
Yeah, yeah. And she's out there producing, getting dirty. So.
Yeah. She's going to fight it out with Eva Mendes for the AOC role in a couple of years. Or Rosario Dawson or America Ferrera.
Yeah.
Oh.
I gotta go Rosario. I just love her. I love.
She's awesome.
Like, her,
Yeah.
her fashion, her style, everything. I love her. Yeah.
All right, we got Sofia Vergara or J-Lo.
Sophia.
All right.
Yes.
That was the quickest one, Sophia.
I listen. I just feel like J-Lo is like shoved down my throat like all the time. You know what I mean? It's like everywhere.
Yeah.
She's got shoes. She's got that. It's like, I don't know. I just like I can't. It's too much J-Lo.
Agreed.
Too much. Yeah. Tessa Thompson or Gina Rodriguez?
Tessa.
Thor. Gina Torres or Aubrey Plaza?
Oh, Aubrey Plaza.
Aubrey's the best, right? She's the best.
Yeah. She's so funny. Yeah.
All right, moving on along. Fast and Furious. Salma or Zoe?
Salma.
Yeah.
Rosie or AOC?
Oh, Rosie.
The icon or the future president? Justina or Kate?
Oh, that's hard. No.
La Reina?
Sophia, help.
I'm gonna say Justina. I feel like because Kate Castillo's rich. She's preppy in my eyes.
And
I don't like her
serious.
upbringing. She's more serious. She comes from a rich family. She's privileged. So, yeah.
All right. Shakira or Ana de Armas?
Oof, I'm sweating over here.
Remember, the bracket bit is created to cause maximum pain.
Good. It's very well. It's effective. Yes. J-Lo fatigue. Yeah. I have to do Shakira. I'm sorry. Like I love Anna.
All right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
one.
Sorry, guys. All right. I'm sorry. I will not put up with the Ana de Armas slander. All right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No. No. I was a little. I'm sorry. It was triggered there. Anything anti-Ana de Armas sort of gets me right away, so I apologize. I was acting out. No, we're back. This is not your bracket, Lou. This is not your bracket to fill out. Okay, got it. All right, we're back. All right. Shakira moves on in a shocking upset.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Rita Moreno or Stephanie?
Stephanie.
Melissa or Eva?
Melissa.
Rosario or Sofia? That's a tough
Rosario.
one. All right. Tessa or Aubrey?
Oh no.
That's a tough one.
I'm gonna say Aubrey because
Parks and Rec or Thor?
Parks and Rec.
All right, Parks and Rec.
She's like an inspiration.
Amazing.
All right. We are okay. They're not going to get any easier from here. Just letting you know. All right.
No.
Salma or Rosie, two icons. Mexico versus Puerto Rico. Right, Puerto Rico, right? Rosie's Puerto Rican. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's Puerto
Puerto Rican.
Or is she mixed? Is she too? Okay.
She's New York. She's New Yorican as hell.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I think in a fight, Rosie would win. You know.
You will not be invited again for another.
Thanks for having my back. That's my mod. Thanks for having my back. Thank you. Yeah. Well, Salma. For me, Salma is just everything. Frida. I've never seen an actress look better than she did, and From Dusk Till Dawn with the snake and the dance. And then Rosie is just
Salma because she had to go up against Weinstein. That nut dirt bag.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. She's been holding it down for many years. All right, and she's married to a billionaire, right? She did all right for herself.
She is doing great.
That's fine.
Yeah, dude. Like yacht life all day.
She's keeping it. All right, Justina Machado or Shakira? Shakira. Stephanie or Melissa? Oh, Brooklyn Nine-Nine battle.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. Stephanie.
Rosario. Oh, this is another tough one. Rosario Dawson or Aubrey Plaza?
I did it to myself, man.
You really did.
You could have, no, you don't. You never, you don't. That's why I tell people focus on. Don't think about future matchups. You just got to go matchup to matchup. Let the bracket do its thing.
Okay. Aubrey
Plaza in an upset against Rosario Dawson.
I know it's just the comedy, right? Like it's the comedy.
No.
Oof.
I feel like you're picking a lot of important to you, in terms of your aesthetic about your characters and stuff like that. Might be it.
Yeah.
All right, we got a tough final four. We got Salma Hayek versus Shakira and her hips that do not lie. Newly single. Salma.
Yeah. You know, Shakira's got that show that she's doing right now, the dance one on NBC. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
She's doing stuff.
She's doing her thing. She was in that animated movie too. She played a
single that just came out. She's fine.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to curb my guilt. You know.
She was married to the player from Barcelona for 10 years. She's all right. All right. And then Stephanie or Aubrey?
The voice of, which was so good, Encanto. What was the girl's name? I forgot. Excuse me. Doesn't matter. I mean, we know we're gonna. Aubrey. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die hard. I'm gonna go crash and burn. I'm gonna crash and burn with Aubrey. Let's do it.
All right. Now you have your comedic doppelganger almost here, and then we got Salma.
Oh wow,
man,
mega deep. Actually, this is I need you to send this to me. I'm gonna take
a grab. No, I'll send you the link. I'll send you the link to the thing. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go with Salma all the way, but the spirit of Aubrey is there. But I just think that Salma was such a path. What's the term? Trailblazer.
Trailblazer. Yeah.
Trailblazer.
Yeah, so respect.
Mm-hmm. That was awesome.
I recognize that was tough for you. But you made it out. You made it out alive.
I made it out alive. Mm-hmm.
You had some tough decisions, but you have survived the bracket bit.
That was so much fun. I don't know. Do you do brackets for fun? Just like on your like you're just like, oh, it's 2 o'clock. I'm gonna do a bracket for myself. Like,
I always loved brackets, and I think that I was just looking for something to end my interviews with, and I was like, I'll find something that the person loves, and then I'll just test what they love most, and that'll be
you know
like.
what this reminds me of? There's this episode of The Simpsons where Homer goes to hell, and the devil's like, ha ha ha, this is. I know how I'm going to get you, because what the devil does is like takes what you love and then gives you so much of it. Yeah.
They put him on the donut machine. And he's like, yeah, give me more, give me more, give me more.
Except I'm not Homer in this situation. I'm one of the other people that were in hell. But like, that was intense, man.
Yeah.
All right, Lizzie says her final bracket was Shakira versus Rosario. Shakira winning it, but it was hard. Yeah.
Wow, I would not have expected that from Lizzie.
What about you? What about Sophia? What about you, Sophia?
Yeah.
Where did you go?
I think Salma as well. It was gonna be down to her always, but a few other ones would have made it further. Yeah.
No, I would have been probably Anna versus Salma.
Anna all the way.
You can't go wrong either way for me. Yeah. Well, Miss Janeva, we're gonna let you go.
Okay. Thank you so much. This was so much fun. If I can pop back in, I'll let you guys know.
Please do, because the Jamie Lee Curtis, I want to know your take. I know it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as you RIP my if you saw earlier, my tabs is what we'll get through now.
Oh, girl.
That is what we
That was a lot of tabs. That's more than me, which is
those are my tabs right here.
So
those are
for 3 more hours.
No, we'll be here for a little bit. No, a lot of the stuff is we already talked about, and we'll get to it. But I think I don't know if we're doing an episode next week because Comic-Con's coming up, so I figured we'll just do it like a longer one today and split it into 2. But I want to thank you for coming on. Hopefully you can pop back on, and we'd love to have you on.
I'm just gonna get a snack, I'm
we'll be here.
I'll
be here.
All right, cool. You guys are the sweetest. This is so much fun. Yeah.
All right, cool. Then we'll save the anonymous way. We got 4. We have an anonymous advice column, so we'll save that for when you come back, and we'll just knock out some tabs while you're away. Okay.
All right. See you guys in a bit.
See you in
a bit. All right, take it easy.
Bye.
All right. How was that?
All right. Great.
She was awesome, huh?
Yeah, I love her. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Big fan. Más Latina.
Love it. I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's knock out some tabs while she get out here. We're gonna get up on the news of the day from a Latina perspective.
Is Rosa coming?
No, she unfortunately is finishing up some reviews and stuff like that, but so she won't be able to join us. But
Rosa.
Hopefully after Comic-Con we'll have her on, and we'll get her related takes, and we'll kind of talk about maybe the Emmy nominations and any movies that we should be looking out for the rest of the year.
Can't wait.
All right, biggest things that happened over the last week: Hunter Biden iCloud leak. Apparently, some hackers from 4chan began to hack Hunter Biden's iCloud, and it was what you would expect, just a bunch of videos of him running around naked, smoking a lot of crack. I can't show really the video because TOS, but you can see he just has multiple videos of him just with like a crack pipe, just a video of him at a pool. Just him naked with like guns and crack and hookers. And there's another one where he was measuring. He had a scale and he was basically measuring. He had 20 grams of crack on a scale, and it was just like, man. And then this was Twitter, I guess. Hold on a second here.
Oh man.
No, well, there was a funny meme about it, but did you hear about it, or did you know kind of anything about it?
No, not at all. Why did I not hear of it? Wow, I am not surprised, but
that's interesting because the meme that I was looking at was basically saying like it was popping up everywhere, and like nobody. It was kind of like when the laptop stuff was happening, that people were trying to take it down because they were saying it was misinformation, right? So I think my take on it was this is one of the times that makes liberals and the leftist media look bad, because when it's kind of like a moral high ground thing, like Al Franken and forcing them to resign from Senate or stuff like that, they're all over it. But when it's something like this, and they try to use their power to like lower the impact of it, just like virtually just saying, no, we're not going to let this become a thing. We're going to take it down. We're going to say it's misinformation, blah blah blah. It adds to the fake news narrative. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like they're doing a disservice to themselves by basically just not allowing people to decide for themselves. It's funny that the president, Uncle Brandon, has a crackhead son.
Yeah.
It's and he calls his dad Pedo Pete. And the big guy, and he might be out there doing crazy, weird deals with other. He might not be. I mean, it could all be fake, but it's at least funny to think that that's a possibility, you know?
Yeah.
And we're all paying for it. We're paying for his crack addict. And yes, substance abuse is a motherfucker. And I made a whole movie about substance abuse and its effects on myself personally and other people. But still, it's like you can at least admit that it's a funny fucking thing. You know, you don't have to like block it off of everywhere in the world, and you know, and try to like force people not to share it and stuff like that. It's a bad look overall, you know.
Yeah, so that's what they were doing. They were trying to block it off.
No, well, I just thought it was interesting that you hadn't seen it because it originated on 4chan, right? And so they started leaking it, and then the same way as other stories that make Biden look bad, the same stories that they used, they would pull stuff down and kind of mute it, shadow ban it, whatever you want to call it. It's not really popping up in a lot of feeds. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so that's kind
not
of
on
like,
mine.
so it's kind of weird that they did that. And look, okay, so this is him with crack on a scale. And it's just him arguing with the hooker about how much crack they got. So how much crack they gave us?
What the fuck?
He needs to replace the battery on that scale, though. He's going to get fucked.
Why did he take a video of it is my question.
Which is, I mean, why do people take naked pictures of themselves, even though it's a bad idea? Like,
For
what, you know?
sex. I mean, you know, you send it, it's sexual thing. But this is just, you're a politician. You're the son of a politician, the president of the United States. So it's like, why? I'm not going to victim blame. It's fine.
Okay, this is the one. This is basically this was the funny gift that I was talking about. Oh, there's Geneva. She's coming back. I'm gonna bring her back in a second. So it's basically Twitter trying to close all the boxes and all the stuff when everything's happened. Like, you know, basically.
Yeah. No.
No. Don't look at this. No, don't look at that. Don't look at that. Don't look at that. So yeah, I just thought it was funny that it was sort of being muted. But interesting. All right, Geneva's back. Let's bring her back on. Hey.
Welcome back.
Hey, yeah.
Hey, we were just talking about how the Hunter Biden iCloud stuff was getting muted everywhere.
Mm-hmm. I did not know about this. I am like shook.
Exactly. Same.
Well, apparently they leaked his iCloud, and it's a shit ton of pictures of him smoking crack and videos, and him doing all kinds of, like, this is him smoking crack in a bathtub.
No.
And this is him and then there's naked in a pool, and he's like dancing. Like, this is him like dancing.
No.
And there's just a bunch of shit happening, and it's all kind of like, I just thought it was interesting that there's sort of that it's not super, like, I don't know, like, I don't see it out there a lot, you know?
No.
Didn't make my rounds, so.
No, it's making right-wing rounds. Like, everybody knows about it. So anyway, I just think it makes the left and left-leaning media look bad when they refuse to cover stuff like that, because if it was Ivanka Trump caught with a crack pipe, you know, would you say that's disinformation, or would you report on it, right?
I mean, right now there's just like too many things, I feel like, vying for the headlines. Like, there's no shortage of fucking bananas shit going down everywhere. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And if that wasn't enough, if that wasn't enough, we have these crazy ass pictures of the cosmos that were released by NASA News 2 telescope up there. This the bright spiky things are things that are close to us. Everything else is basically looking into the universe. Every single dot is an entire galaxy of itself. And what I've heard say is that what this represents is if you were looking out and looking at your thumb and there was like a speck of sand on the tip of your thumb, that is what, relative to the size of space, what this area represents. So this is kind of another reason that we should feel insignificant. Because my God, can you imagine how many just, right? There's got to be people out there. There's got to be other things out there, right?
We are a
Yeah,
yeah, there has to be.
My Selma Aubrey Plaza doppelganger is out there. She is out there.
Yeah, so every one of these little things is an entire galaxy in of itself, and then you can tell that some of them are curved, and that's kind of like the curvature of space, and so it's kind of just weird, man. You know, like I said, like I always say, we're stuck to this rock by magic, and we're hurling through space. So let's not overthink things. It's just have fun, make some art, make people laugh, love each other.
For real. I read this article because I sometimes read articles, and and it was about the Proud Boys and how they use irony to they'll be like, you should go shoot up XYZ. Just kidding. We really hate these types of people. Just kidding. And then they can't be liable for everything they said because it's I don't know, was I being serious or not? Yeah. And then the head of the Proud Boys was like, we're just a bunch of funny guys. And I was like, what? I missed the comedy memo. Where? So to your point, I'm just I think more people need to just make art and get out there and express themselves so that they don't think being a Proud Boy is their comedy routine.
Yeah. I had a tab, but I had muted it. But there was, I think it was Tampa Herald or something. Somebody wrote an op-ed piece about Proud Boys, and they're like, when I think of Proud Boys, I just think of fathers and sons and people that just want this and this and that. She was literally defending them, and it was and then I found out, she was married to a Proud Boy, and she was writing it. So okay. Yeah. So yeah, but they really are no, we're we're just doing it for the lulz, and we're just memeing and trolling. We don't really mean that,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if one of 1,000 of you becomes radicalized and does something, then you can claim that you didn't know about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Moving right along, Kylie Jenner, everybody's favorite Caucasian. Everybody's favorite culture vulture is getting shit on. Apparently, she made a thing to make billions of dollars, and she called one of the colors is called besitos. So once again, she's getting accused of being a culture vulture.
That's what I was gonna say. Is she the one with the tequila? But it's Kendall. It says right there.
Yeah. She they're doing all kinds of shit over there. They're and okay. I love Bryan Cranston and I love Breaking Bad, but him and the guy who played Jesse they also have a tequila called Dos Hombres. And as much as I love them, they're out there just at Bevmo doing fucking. They're literally out there at Bevmo is doing fucking.
Pedaling, they're paddling.
They're paddling.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, George Clooney has a mezcal. Man, it just became such a stat. It just becomes such a stat.
You know what? That's totally what it is. You get to a certain level, and you're like, well, how many brands do I have?
Yeah.
Literally, that's probably what they talk about at parties.
It's a white label. It's a white label thing. They just make it, and they're like, we'll just slap this on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and catching up on Amber Heard Depp news. So this was a fucking interesting story. Apparently, one of the jurors wasn't even one of the jurors. So somebody snuck into jury duty is the gist of it. So there was a person that wasn't even an alternate or anything, but they showed up, signed the paperwork, did a thing.
Wow.
so there was a 70-year-old on the injury panel list is registered both at the same address as a 50-year-old, the same name according to the filing. The individual who appeared for jury with his name was obviously the younger one. So that person wasn't even supposed to be on the jury. They showed up. They got in there. They were part of the jury. So she's trying to get the shit dismissed. What do you think, Sophia? Should we go through this all over again?
No, let's not reopen this. But
Yeah.
okay, somebody's
getting very clever. I feel
Yeah.
like maybe they were planted anyways, just to have like a card that you could play if you didn't get the outcome you didn't want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Do you the other thread that was related to this that I saw, and this one was one that I was trying to get to a while ago, but we didn't do it. But basically, Marilyn Manson is getting ready to sue his victim, Evan Rachel Wood, for defamation. Basically, here's some of the allegations that they had: that he met her when she was 18 in 2006, and he was 37. They became really good friends. He started a love bomber. You know, he was a famous musician during that time. Then he started taking videos of her. Had her sort of in like, he was posting private videos on his own website showing her being whipped. There was a whole fucking basic element. There's videos of him telling them who you're texting, answer me or I'll kill you. And this is Johnny Depp's best friend, stuff like that. This Camila, I can share the thread with you guys if you guys want to take a look at it. But there's an entire thread basically of her and how her family sort of had to plan her escape. And then him, you know, he released videos where he was beating up a woman who looked just like her. And then basically this is Marilyn Manson has a bunch of Nazi tattoos, things like that. So this is kind of to do with what we were talking about a few times, which is the Justice for Johnny crowd and sort of pivoting from Me Too to no, this particular person, this bitch can fuck off and die. She's evil. We're not going to believe anything she said. Amber Heard, everybody sort of turned against her. And those same people that defended Depp are somehow defending Marilyn Manson blindly. And like I said, you know, Johnny Depp defended pedophiles in the past. So I just kind of think it's kind of a weird. Are these like just Depp fangirls that are willing to carry over to the next topic? Is this another segment of the population? Who are the people that are defending? Or maybe it's coming from like there's a mole inside the house. You know what I mean? Is this could be kind of one of those ironic things where people start up a thing to sort of just see where it goes.
Yeah, I think that Johnny Depp, the whole trial definitely empowered men that, you know, have been defamed, I guess, quote unquote. But like, I don't know the details between Marilyn Manson and Evan Rachel Wood. So I don't want to have like a set opinion. But what I have heard is it's not very flattering towards Marilyn Manson. So it makes sense that like following the Johnny Depp trial, he would feel empowered to sue her. It's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah. It's not a good twist.
No, not at all.
No, it's not a good. Hey, we got we were able to get justice for Johnny. What do we do now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Justice for Marilyn Manson. Really?
Yeah.
Let's not die on this hill, you know.
Oh no.
Yeah, she had first come out about it, and then eventually named him after a while because she was scared. She had to plan her escape. It's not a good look. No. Again, another interesting thing, and then we'll move on to another topic, is that this same conversation about Johnny defending Roman Polanski, who gave a 13-year-old Quaaludes and a long time ago moved to France, and Johnny Depp defended him. Again, this is kind of the weird thing. The thread is a Depp stan tried to debunk this by saying that Roman Polanski is actually innocent and the person who came out to defend it was the actual victim. Roman Polanski was never accused of multiple sexual assaults of minors. There was one case and Polanski stated he assumed the girl was of age. Why? Because he met her at an adult party and because she was dropped off at the house. late for a photo shoot alone. Again, tragic occurrence, but the girls apparently clearly have their own responsibility for it all. Who allows a minor girl, blah, blah, blah. Basically, and then the actual victim, the actual girl that wrote that, Romanesky, was like, wow, 2022 and you faux activists still blame my mom. Roman took responsibility for his actions. It seems the quality of his character exceeds yours. You didn't know the readily available facts. You make a fool out of yourself, and of course they retweeted. I'm sorry that you were drawn into this thread, and we respect and appreciate your opinions.
What?
So when you find yourself like saying this and then the actual person that it comes to, I think you have to sort of think about kind of where you're at, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. What about? Wait, are we saying maybe she's got Stockholm syndrome, like where, you know what I mean, where like you like your abuser, like you kind of like you absolve them. You're like, no, they're great people. I don't know, I don't know what you're talking about. Do we think maybe that's what she has, or like I don't know?
Well, no, I think she's sort of like in between, because I think it's probably been long ago enough, and even when she was young, she was like, yeah, I was underage, but I was kind of like, older than myself or whatever. So she wasn't like she wasn't really like blaming him too much, but the law was a law. So I think that she's basically saying, how are you people still blaming my parents when even Polanski has even said that he was wrong, right? So I think it does sort of feel like she's in between, because she's like, oh, he's got better character,
Yeah, right? Like, oh yeah, that was my rapist, but they have a nice house. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess she's getting at, she's probably saying like, he's the lowest you can get and somehow you went lower. But
maybe
it's not landing. Yeah.
I
don't know.
All right. Jill Biden apologizes. Jill Biden apologizes for comparing Latino diversity to tacos and bodegas. She was giving a speech, and she was talking to the Hispanic Civil Rights, an advocacy organization, and basically she said that something. She said, as distinct as the bodegas of the Bronx, as beautiful as the blossoms of Miami, and as unique as the breakfast tacos here in San Antonio. She also badly mispronounced bodegas, etc., and she apologized. But I mean, she's an old white lady. Should we expect more from her, or you're giving her a pass on this one?
You had some Karen moments today, Geneva.
I got some Karen moments. Yeah. I mean, B for effort. A B for effort. I mean, it's the White House. Aren't there like 900 people writing these things? Like, that's what always baffles me when they like say something really stupid. I'm like, you did not write that. There was somebody hired to research and write that, and they are a political writer and went to school and they should know what they're doing. Like, so, and the mispronunciation. Well, there you go. I mean, can't get mad at her for that. Like, that's understandable. So, but yeah, it's not so simplistic as the storefronts or.
Do you side note on pronunciation? Do you watch either Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul?
Here's where I'm at. This is very triggering for me right now. Again, very triggering. I have yet to see Breaking Bad. Okay. So it's on my list as like, I've watched the pilot like 3 times because I've been like, here we go, we're gonna watch it from the top, and then something happens. And I think it's just overwhelming because that's 7 years of, right? They did it for 7 years. Like, that's a commitment.
It's 5 seasons.
5
Breaking
seasons?
Bad is 5 seasons. Breaking Bad is 5 seasons.
5? Okay.
Yeah, and the second one is really short because of the writer's strike. Or the first season is only 6 episodes because of the writer's strike. So yeah, it's actually it's probably maybe like 54 episodes max.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah. All right, so I will watch it very soon.
Okay. Well, let me redirect this to Sophia because I know she's seen both of them, right? But so one of the only bad things that you can say about Breaking Bad and Vince Gilligan and Peter Gould, the creators, is that they had too much confidence in casting non-Latino speakers for the Latino roles and making them learn the the language phonetically, kind of like season 1 of Narcos. They got a Brazilian person to play Pablo Escobar, not a Colombian. So his accent always threw me off because all the other people that were playing people from Medellin had the "Yeah, Maria, pues, todo bien, que es parcero," todo, like, that very Medellin accent. And he was like, he was a Brazilian trying to do his best. So even though it's an incredible show, Giancarlo Esposito, who plays Gustavo Fring, who's supposed to be Chilean, like he
So
mumbled
bad.
so bad, and the other people that play Latinos, they're so bad. Better Call Saul, they did get some more native speakers, which helped it, but I just wanted to throw that out there in case you had any thoughts on it. Sophia, do you agree with me about that?
Yeah, I think I ranted on it on Snapchat because I was watching Better Call Saul, and the guy that really pisses me off is the Hector.
Hector, yeah, Tío de Salamanca.
Yeah, because in Better Call Saul we get his backstory, and he talks a lot, and it is just the thickest accent, and he speaks English so well, and then he goes to Spanish, and it's cringe. It's so cringe. Yeah, casting was not great.
Yeah, I mean they got the right people for the cast, but they just made them speak too much Spanish, and although I love the fact that more shows, instead of saying, "Hey, why are these people speaking English in the middle?" Actually have people speak the language that's more natural. I like that there's a lot more of that on TV shows, but still, moving right along, disturbing trend on TikTok. So
Only one?
Only one.
there's so many.
Which one?
So there's this trend of people telling their kids to go put their shoes on, and they tell them, "Hey, I'm gonna go fight this guy down the street, but he's got an 8-year-old. If he jumps in, I need you to fight them." And then sort of seeing what the kids do, and then here I'll play a little something here.
Because I'm about to go outside and fight, and this girl, she has a daughter too, and I'm gonna need you to fight her. All right?
Okay, I'm gonna fight with you.
Okay, let's go.
Oh,
Put your shoes on because I gotta go fight someone, Sia. So I need you to come with me in case you have to fight her nephew, okay?
I can't.
Why not?
oh, sweetie.
Today?
Yeah. Is that okay?
Is it normal?
No, I have to fight someone's Sia.
This day?
No, someone else's Sia.
Someone else?
Yeah. So I need you to help me fight in case she brings her nephew. I need you to fight him.
I can't.
Why not?
I need you to put your shoes on.
So torn up about it.
I need you to put your shoes on. I'm finna go beat up this girl, and if her daughter jump in, I need you to handle her daughter. Let's go. Put your shoes on.
Okay. She's ready.
Yeah, the older kids are like, I know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so just stop traumatizing your kids for clout, please.
I know.
Seriously.
And then a couple of them, and then people were even saying, "All right, you got to stop," because there were some kids that were getting ready, but they were crying because they didn't really want to, but they didn't want to disappoint their dad and stuff. And I'm just like,
So sad.
please,
That's
please,
abuse. Oh my goodness.
please stop doing that
I
to people.
can't. It's like these prank YouTubers. Now it's happening on TikTok. That's terrible.
Yeah, no. I mean, because I know if I was a little kid and I'd be doing, I wouldn't want to disappoint my dad, but at the same time, I wasn't. I really don't want to.
The confusion. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Little boy
exactly.
Right now? Tomorrow?
like we gotta fight. All right. So I don't want to go. I don't really. And I didn't really want to watch the video when it came out. The Uvalde video of the cops and stuff. But one thing I did have to bring out, which was this cop with a Punisher lock screen on his phone. So this is the video of the Uvalde, and this is the area where all the cops were just sitting around waiting. One of the guys went in there and was like, got hand sanitizer, and the other ones you could see him just running away and waiting.
Fist bumping.
Like just sitting there, just sitting there waiting for 50 minutes. And then this cop with a gun drawn, but he's got a fucking Punisher. I don't want to say all cops are bastard, but a majority of cops are bastard at this point because. If 15 cops with guns and heavy machinery are afraid of one person with an AR-15, then maybe we shouldn't have AR-15s. If you're gonna
maybe we shouldn't have them. Yeah.
Because if the guys, and there's 3 different guys with ballistic shields. One person how do they not just say, all right, let's just go in, and one of them draws the fire and the other one takes them out? I don't understand how they do that. They love to play dress up. The only thing I can think of is that they just like looking cool. They like having the gear. They like having the SWAT team. They like feeling like that. So
power trip, yeah. I saw today that they like. Did you see this? There's like the classrooms that they're like advertising like little like what do they call, like it's like a cell, like a protection unit, and they're like trying to sell them to like install them in the classroom, so when there is an active shooter situation, they just lock themselves into this like bulletproof.
There's also
cave.
bulletproof backpacks that they sell to kids now, and the thing we talked about last week was that at one of the parade shootings on 4th of July, it was the little kids who had active shooter training that were telling their parents and people what to do.
Wow.
Which is that's so
disturbing. Yeah,
that's heartbreaking. Lizzie says she loves the videos of the kid. Go do one with your son. I want to see what he. No, don't traumatize your kid. No, but I see that. But yeah, so I didn't want to dwell on it, but I did want to bring that up that did leak. I suggest don't watch it because it just, there's shit. Like, don't go watch beheading videos. Don't watch narco videos. That shit stays with you, and you're much better off just not knowing. Good news for Sophia. Geico ordered to pay $5.2 million to woman who contracted STD during sex in insured vehicle. So,
fuck yeah.
So break bread, Sophie Cheeks. Break bread. So basically, Geico has been ordered to pay $5.2 million in damages to a woman who contracted a sexually transmitted disease in an insured vehicle of her then boyfriend.
I'll go get Geico right now.
So basically, the insured negligently caused or contributed to be infected with HPV by not taking proper precautions, and because they did it in the then boyfriend's car under the insurance policy, should cover her injuries.
Oh my God, that is genius. What?
So she banged her boyfriend in his car, got HPV, and got $5.2 million.
What? Are you kidding me? Wait.
I don't know if this is the dumbest thing or the smartest thing.
No, this is the smartest thing ever.
Yeah.
$5.2 million for HPV?
Yeah. You can just get a cream for that, right?
But how many times did they have to? I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure she banged them a bunch of times, right? But she said one of them was in his vehicle and it was insured, and she was like, "Hey, wait." She looked at the Geico policies real quick. She was like,
You know what? Insurance is whack though, so good. Good on her.
Geico. Oh my gosh, yeah, good for her. I'm not knocking her hustle. That's great. You get your coin, girl.
All right, in this week's version of It Could Be Worse, you could be in this relationship. So this guy's got a daddy sticker chart. Wash dishes, you get a 12-pack of your favorite beer if you get 6 stickers. Put toilet seat down, no nagging for a week. All right, see, Geneva's taking notes for her husband. Change blowout diaper, naked hula dance. Oh, all right, yeah.
Now we're talking now.
Bathe the Rugrats. I won't donate your favorite pit stain T-shirt. Oh, that's kind of cold. I was not taking up that much space. Pack the kids' lunches. 1 get out of the doghouse free card. Okay. Nice. How deep is that doghouse? Is that like a fuck? Is that like a fuck your sister doghouse, or is that like a just I don't know. All right. Vacuum the car seats. Doesn't have to go some more annoying kid's birthday party. Clean up, throw up. BJ.
Oh.
And he got all of them for that one.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, he was probably feeding his kids rancid milk.
Excited she is in this photo though. And she's using the wrong stickers. I feel like you need stars, right?
Yeah. She's using these stickers. These are like leftover princess stickers from something that they had.
Daughter kids. Yeah.
Like chore charts for husband. That personally, it's kind of weird. It's a little bit weird, especially the guy doesn't look. I don't know. There's a chance this could be fake, but it's still. I know that those things are real though. People do that kind of shit.
It's really good for kids, but
it's good for kids. I've seen for I've seen that on someone's fridge when they have kids.
All right. Sydney Sweeney has got a nice pair of of Emmy nominations. She got she got nominated for 2 times for Euphoria as well as White Lotus for supporting actors. Yeah, Sydney Sweeney. Come on.
I didn't know who it was.
Yeah, she's got a nice pair of Emmy nominations there.
Makes sense now. Okay.
No, it does make sense. You have to know it, and I have to deliver it better. I'm sorry, that was my mistake. No, the reason I was going to bring this up is because one of my all-time favorite situations growing up as a kid was watching Eddie Murphy in what the fuck?
Coming to America? No.
Not Coming to America. The Trading Places. Sorry, Trading Places. And Jamie Lee Curtis in that movie has the best unsuspecting boob shot in all time when she's just changing in front of the movie. And I think that was the first time I ever saw a pair of boobs in a movie in my life. So she was one of my favorites. But if you come at the queen, you best not miss. And she said some things this week about the person who can do no wrong, Ana de Darmas, saying that she assumed that since she was from Cuba, that she thought she had just gotten here, and that she was unsophisticated, and basically was like, oh, I should introduce you to Steven Spielberg, who she already knew, and she's like, oh, I should tell you people, and she had already been in a dozen movies, and she said, I assumed, and I say this with real embarrassment, Jamie, you should have, like I said, you should have left it in the drafts. I say this with real embarrassment because she had come from Cuba. I made an assumption that she was inexperienced and sophisticated. That first day I was like, oh, what are your dreams? And then she had already been in Blade Runner, War Dogs by that time, and she was so impressed with Arma's performance that she offered to introduce her to Steven Spielberg so Anna could play Maria in West Side Story. She also introduced them to Maggie and Jake Gyllenhaal. De Armas already knew Jake and had plenty of A-listers connected, including a friendship with Knock Knock co-star Keanu Reeves. She's also going to be in the John Wick spin-off. She is also playing Marilyn Monroe in an upcoming movie. Yeah. So that was a segue into Jamie Lee Curtis, and then she was getting some crap on it this week for basically shit-talking, a Latina.
Yeah, your homegirl.
Yeah. Oh man,
your future wife.
No, Anna. I'm sorry. Yeah, I just think she's gorgeous. She's gorgeous. Yeah, absolutely. So, Jamie Lee Curtis, I love you. You're a goddess. But have some of that diarrhea yogurt and sit the fuck down.
Yeah, be better. Yeah.
Hey, thanks for stopping by, Miguel.
Miguel, yeah. I saw a Jamie Lee Curtis interview with people in Espanol. Celebrities really consider those cringe stuff. Yep. And so I initially saw the just 1 minute clip of her calling her unsophisticated because she's from Cuba, and I was like, ugh, I hate that. Oh my god, do I hate Jamie Lee Curtis now? She's terrible. But then I watched a longer interview, and she worded it very differently. And I kind of understood that she's just a very tone-deaf white lady that is not, I don't think she's racist or has malintent. I do think that she is a very experienced actress, and when she meets new people, she immediately thinks that they're new, and what she was saying is I didn't know her background, and I immediately treated her like she was a new actor, and I was trying to teach her stuff. The unsophisticated because of Cuba, those are the words that just get me. So I don't know where I stand on this. I don't think I fully hate her, and I think we should cancel her because the people interview was a little more in depth. So I'm I don't think I hate her. I think that she just didn't deliver the message correctly, and maybe, who knows, maybe she is a little not racist, but what would you say when a white person is just very tone deaf? Tone deaf. Yeah. I mean, I guess. Yeah.
I think that the main thing for me.
There's a word for it.
Yeah, and the fact that she said, and this is a little embarrassing, makes it seem that she's a little bit more self-aware that what she's saying is a little tone deaf. It doesn't make it any less tone deaf that she says it. So I think you can give her a few points for at least self-acknowledgement that she's about to say something that makes her look dumb. And maybe she's an elder stateswoman, so I think a lot of it is her not being afraid of being canceled, because I mean, she's got Halloween money. She's got yogurt money.
But she's like cut from that cloth, right? Like comes from like heavyweights, and so I can get how you would just, even from the get-go, you would have a little bit of a I know how this works attitude, and then if you're like legend status because you're so much older, and like it probably just like kind of gets mixed into everything that she says, right? Unfortunately.
Why can't they keep these embarrassing stories to themselves? Yeah, I mean, you also in the interviews you have to come up something to say. So they say, "Hey, what do you think about Ana de Armas?" And then she's like, "Oh, I met her, and I was like, she's Cuban. She must be dumb as a bag of rocks," or she's not going to say it that way. She tries to figure out a different way to say it, But hey,
unsophisticated, yeah.
Unsophisticated. All right, we're wrapping up here. We're live with Janeva Zentz from Más Latina, and she stopped by. We did an interview with her earlier in the show. If you want to check that out, follow her across all platforms to keep up with her comedic and filmmaking career.
Thank you. I'm crashing the end of the party here.
No,
it's not crashing if you're invited.
This counts as a second part. All right, and then the last couple of tabs I had here open. All right, I'm going to play this without audio so we can comment on it, but
no.
Tyga, who's been accused of culturally appropriating Mexican and Chicano culture in the past, and did I think he had like Carlos Santana on one of his songs or something like that, but he dropped a video called Ay Caramba, and he's getting a lot of shit for it because he plays like spicy, and then he's got like the guy with the guacamole here, and then he's got the mustache and the giant hat, and the zoot suit and the pipers, and then we got the chunky Mexican there in the back, and it's all very spicy. He's
somehow being racist and fat shaming in the same video. It's great.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's a little bit of it's got something for everything. All right. It's got the And then it's not.
They just threw everything in there, didn't they?
Yeah, it's like what is Latino, and they're like, oh, lowriders, hot sauce, red. Then they have mariachi dancers. They have
spicy, like
and it's a lot of mixed cultures. So now we have like Chicano culture, like lowrider culture. This is more like Spanish. This is like not even Latino. It's Spaniard.
I think they have like
what is it? It's like
I mean, I'll play the sound for like 2 seconds. All right. Anyway.
Oh, wait until
Yeah.
He's just saying "ay caramba" over and over and over.
Yeah, that's the whole song. Ay caramba, ay caramba. And then him in different situations.
Are we voting on this? What are we doing?
No. This is like Yosemite Sam. Like what? Now he's got a curfew. Now he's got a wife. Okay. Anyway.
Eating a burrito.
He's eating a burrito for breakfast.
And he puts bottle hot sauce on it. We don't do that. We use salsa, sir.
I mean, you gotta have. I mean, I'm not mixing, but I do have tapatio just in case I forget my.
In case you forget in case they don't give it to you in the store.
The fresh salsa, yeah.
Miguel says this is more insulting than anything Jamie Lee said.
Exactly. Yeah.
Kurt says play my music and said yes. I could only play a little bit this morning because cancel this fuck. I mean, yeah, the whole he's getting a lot of shit online about it because he's had videos and there's been threads and essays about it about the fact that in the fact he has done something like this, but at least he was getting more input from Latino artists, so it was more like collaborations. And in this one, he had like no input from anybody. So I think he just kind of was like, make it spicy Mexican.
Yeah, well, he has Go Loco, and then he also has the Macarena one, the remix.
Right. Yeah, and then he had like a luchador at the end too.
I think this is just partially like him thinking that this is like a formula and following a formula, and he's like, oh, the other ones did well, so let me just like do this. I think he thinks genuinely that Latinos would like this, and he doesn't realize how offensive and stereotypical it is.
Yeah. Like I think I don't want to be the guy, but I think if you had a Latino artist that was sort of steering into African American culture and just kind of taking random shit from it as well, it would not be, it would also not be well received.
No, it wouldn't.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ah, man. And I
All right.
ranted about this on my Twitter too. The fact that like, in so many rap songs, like if they talk about like a mamacita, spicy, caliente, like, it triggers me so badly. I'm just like, bro, stop it.
He wants to be Snoop, I guess, but Snoop doesn't more. It comes more naturally to Smooth. Smooth is just smooth, Latino Slam, thanks for stopping by. I know it's all garbage. At Jill Tacos, it's been a horrible week for Latinos and the degradation of Latina women in all these videos. Fuck that.
Yeah, it really has been.
Well said, Latino Slam. Make sure you guys subscribe to his channel on YouTube as well. He also does reaction videos.
Nice.
We'll be hopefully collaborating soon. We're live with Janeva from Mas Latina talking about her film, and she's been cool enough to stick around to let us close all the tabs. We're almost done. I have two more stories, and then I got two more tabs to get to, and then we're gonna get into a No Names Way. We got a couple of submissions there. No Names Way. All right. Noah Schnapp from Stranger Things revealed Doja Cat's been thirsting after his Stranger Things co-star. Everybody's after Eddie from Stranger Things. Cool. Everybody. All right. So basically, one of the kids from Stranger Things, Doja Cat, jumped into his Instagram DMs, basically saying, "Hey, can you tell Joseph to hit me up?" Doja Cat wrote per the screenshot. LMAO. Slide into his DMs. The Say So singer says she didn't have Quinn's Instagram account, so Schnapp sent her the link. Here you go. And basically, he then shared their messages on a video. Then she basically called him a snake for sharing that.
How did I miss this?
All right, and he was 17 years old, and he's a kid, so he didn't really do So basically, the backlash to that is she's lost 200,000 Instagram followers, mostly Stranger Things fans, I would assume, and they were saying that he's a 17-year-old kid. Why would you put him on blast and call him a snake? He was just being a dumb kid, and you were the one that was trying to get into his DMs to get into another grown man. So yeah, I mean, everybody, Eddie Munson, great character, Stranger Things. Doja Cat, I found out she existed today, but either way.
Excuse me? That better be sarcasm.
I mean, you could play 10 songs and you could play 3 songs and ask me to pick out her song, and I would not be able to.
What? How are you friends with Higgs? First of all, he's the one that put me onto her.
I'm music is the one place where I am out of it completely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So anyway, reactions to her trying to slide in and her putting a 17-year-old on blast. I mean, I don't think that you should be sharing screenshots will always get you fucked up, right?
Yeah. Was she trying to hit on him? What were the messages about?
Yeah.
They were basically like, "Hey, can you hook me up with your boy?"
I think that's not bad.
That's not bad with what boy? Like she was asking
with
the
she was asking she was hitting up the 17-year-old, one of the kids from Stranger Things, about the guy who played Eddie Munson on the last season of Stranger Things, who everybody's thirsting after right now.
Is he an adult?
He's an adult. Yeah, he's an older guy.
Not terrible.
Nah.
But the fact that she's going through the 17-year-old.
Do they have rapport at all?
I guess. I mean, they're celebrities, right? I think maybe that's kind of the sample, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Why would
if
she
she
do
was a guy and it was like a 17-year-old actress who was like really popular and knew this other chick that this guy wanted to get to know, would that be bad? Yeah.
We did the Olivia Rodrigo dating an older man thing last week, that story.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say, if Olivia Rodrigo was the middleman and a boy was like, "Hey, hook me up with your friend who's 20-something."
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad, honestly. And I don't know why.
I don't think it's that bad. I think it's because they're so
bad.
famous. It's like, it's like the connection, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Hey.
not the age.
For me, because Geneva, we just met tonight. You were an underage, I have a rapport with you now. If I slide into your DMs because I see a picture of somebody and I'm like, "Hey girl, hook me up with whoever,"
I got you.
Yeah.
I will say this, like,
Thank you.
like let's say if I was like in my 20s and I knew like a kid from like the basketball court that from the rec center, and then I saw that his like hot ass sister came to pick him up one day, I'd be like, hey, you're 15. How old's your sister? Hey, what's up? Like I don't right. I think it's more the fact.
You want an ice cream? Like, what can I get you?
Yeah. Oh, you want me to pick you on my team always? Yeah. No, I think it's Dizzy says it's terrible that she's talking smack about a 17-year-old now for saying she was. So the 17-year-old.
Thank you, Lizzie, for keeping.
Yeah,
us
thank you,
on
Lizzie.
track.
We were focusing on the
This is what a good moderator will tell you. So I think it's basically she blasted him for sharing their screenshots, and he is a kid. He should know better not to share that. But he's probably excited, like, hey, Doja Cat's in my DMs, haha. Check it out. Meanwhile, she's like, you fucking kid, you're not supposed to do that. I'm trying to get laid over here.
PR nightmare for her now.
Yeah. And then she has to go apologize, blah blah blah, and now that she loses a bunch of subscribers. All right. Let's do a palate cleanser and then we'll finish this up. All right. So this is an older video, but I rewatched it and I kind of thought it was cool. This is kind of the one where the woman had to give a couple of lions, and then she went to visit them at the zoo one day, and they were like, "Hey." This is at the point where I'll be like, "Hey, okay."
Oh my god.
He's like, hey. He opens it. He's like right there. He's like, "Hey, can I eat your hair? Can I eat your hair?"
Oh my god, that's like my dog.
Oh my goodness.
That is so cute.
Oh my god, it
What a hugger.
Yeah. So I mean, lions, right? let's all get them as pets.
Aww. Good palate cleanser.
That's the good palate cleanser. All right, and then lastly, we have our last. Okay, and Latino, thanks for stopping by. Great panel. Don't be silent, Raza. Never. Thank you. That's what we're here for. 2 Latinos and a microphone. Well, three microphones today. All right. So, and I have a surprise for Sophia. Now we get to our final section of the day, and one that we like to call.
Now it's time for
No names way.
No names, way.
No names.
I love it.
Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna show everybody whose voice was on there.
I'm gonna play it again.
Now it's time for
No names way.
No names, way.
No names.
That's great.
Who were all the voices?
All my friends.
No, that was and a couple of my friends as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. Oh, I love it.
It's cute.
You need to do a one too, Geneva.
No names
way.
No names because it's anonymous, so it's no names.
No name. It's a pun. You see?
No names.
No names way.
No
All right.
way. Yeah.
Exactly.
We're using
Exactly.
that clip.
That's how we're doing it. All right. So the first question that we have comes to us from Dumb and Really Really Dumb. Okay. They ask. So we're going on a ride to the beach, just me and my significant other last week, when one of those radio bits come on where they call someone and they tell them they want a free bouquet of flowers, and who do they want to send it to? Of course, they say they're going to send it to somebody who is not their girlfriend, and then they have a big dramatic fight over the phone with the guy and the girl. I was cracking up the whole time because of the ridiculousness and thought my significant other was doing the same. But when I looked over at her, she was enthralled like it was the greatest cheesemate ever. I was like, pretty funny, huh? She said, actually, I think it's horrible that she had to do this to find out that he had a side chick. They have kids together. And I thought she was kidding, so I played around. Well, I said, as a joke, if I had some free flowers, I wouldn't send them to you. I send you and give you gifts all the time. And she got livid. Who would you send the flowers to?
My mom.
I said, my mom, you big dummy.
Only appropriate answer. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, my mom, yeah. Plus, this is all fake. You know that, right? She was like, no, aren't you listening to it? I tried to explain that you have to get someone's permission before you put them on live radio, but she didn't believe me. She's now emotional and angry. I even fed her, and she's still big mad. I'm sorry.
You
All right.
fed her.
You try to feed her. That's all you can do, man. Just kind of, you got to cut your losses.
Yeah.
Is it wrong that I am considering dumping her? Is it wrong that I'm considering dumping my girlfriend, because she is too dumb to realize a radio skit was fake?
It's not dumping material. Like, I think it's just, some people don't get things, and
Some
you
people
just
operate
know
on
that
just
now.
the one. Some people just operate on that one level, right?
You just know that when that segment comes on, your girl's gonna go and take it the wrong way.
Yeah, but that is true. Like every time you go on the radio, they have to tell you you're going on the radio, right? So. Just maybe, but maybe she's never looked into stuff like that. Like, it could be that the reason it's a bit, right?
That's true.
I mean,
I'm
Miguel
more
says
worried about
no.
the fact that she didn't get the joke. Like,
It says run, bro.
run, bro. Yeah, I'm like the possessiveness, the possessive nature of her just being immediately angry. Like, I'm kind of like, oh, you can't play around a little. I don't know.
Yeah, that's one of those girls that she probably gonna get mad at you. She probably gets mad at you for dreams she had.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it sounds like. So I would be more worried about that. But I don't know about dumping. I'm not part of your relationship. Who knows?
I agree with Geneva. You have to learn your partner's triggers, and if that bugs them, then don't joke like that. Right. Yeah. I mean, but if you're sitting there with your partner and all of a sudden something very obviously fake comes on, and they're like, oh my God, right? And like, could you watch what was that one? Could you watch Punk'd with them? Would they get super confused? I mean, do they understand subtlety? Do they get sarcasm? That would be my follow up. Like, is this the only place? Like, because people can be naive, even though they recently took naive out of the dictionary. Don't know if you guys knew that. No. And then they took it out. They're like, it's not good enough to be in the dictionary. Naive. Yeah, look it up.
Why
Trust
am
me.
I so triggered by that? Wait, I like that word.
You're messing with us. You're fucking with us, right?
Yeah, fuck you.
Well, what happens if you go look for naive in the dictionary? You're gonna say easily fooled. You go, oh, I'm sorry. That's an old. That's an old trick. That's an old trick. But I'm saying there's people that are just sometimes naive. That doesn't mean that they don't have. So if her naivety and it doesn't carry over, and she's smart, like she doesn't drink spoiled milk, she doesn't run red lights. As long as it doesn't.
Or she's not one of those crystal mommies.
Yeah, as long as she's not a crystal mommy, if she doesn't have Karen tendencies, if she's not racist, if she's like, doesn't flirt with your friends, as long as she doesn't do the other shit that would piss you off, then, roll with it.
Yeah.
You also, I mean, if she's done, you probably get away with more stuff. If we want to look at it, if you want to look at it from a scientific perspective,
you can exploit this. Yes.
Yeah.
You don't want a girl that's too smart.
The fuck does that mean, sir? You are doing this podcast with two women. Settle down.
Enough with the brains, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm scared.
I'm gonna drop a queef and it's gonna explode. There you go.
Okay, moving on. This next question comes to us from Rando, and they say, "What would your solo podcast be, and what would it be about? Also, why haven't you talked about the Alpha Male Pods? You teased it 2 weeks ago." Okay, we were gonna do a whole deep dive on. We were gonna do a whole deep dive to Fresh and Fit, but we have to do that when we don't have a host and when we don't have Comic-Con coming up next week. I already have a solo podcast. It's called Fireside Chats with Big Chief Burrito, and it's about people's passions. And Sophia, if you had your own podcast, what would it be called?
I don't on the spot. I don't know what the name would be, but I know it would have to do with just like talking straight cheeseman, just random ass shit, and maybe some human sexuality topics as well.
Ooh, I like that.
So like love, relationships, all that shit. Yeah, I study a lot of that.
You know what you could call it?
What?
By the way.
I love it. Yeah, there you go. See?
Yeah.
Very psychology based. Is
all right. Geneva, what would yours be called?
Oh my God. That's kind of a hard question. I don't know. I really don't know. I think it would be like, I think I would do something hella nerdy. Like, I think I would be, okay, got it. I got it. It would be like, when you do something and you suck at it, let's just talk about what you try to do and like celebrate that you try to do it. So like, let's say you're like, I try to like build some like shelves in my garage, and the whole thing fell apart or whatever. Be like,
Yeah.
okay, let's talk about it. Like, what did you get? How was it? Okay, so you fucked up. That's all right. What'd you learn? You know, like maybe something like
celebrate the failures in your life.
that. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that. I tried crocheting. I failed.
Oh, that's it. That's the name right there. I tried.
I tried.
Yeah, I tried.
It's like
I tried with Geneva.
With a
the
sad face.
mask.
I tried.
Like, I tried to sew and make masks, and I was like, I suck at this. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna save anyone with these masks. They're so shitty. Like, you know.
They're gonna spread COVID. Oh no.
Yeah, they're gonna. Spread.
Miguel's show would be called "What's Up with That." Ooh
What's
wee.
up with that?
What's up with that? What's
Isn't
up with
from
that?
SNL?
All right, yeah, absolutely. All right, next question here is coming from Dead Hongry, Hongry. Death is at your door, but it hungers. Hasn't eaten in a million years. If you cook one perfect meal for them, they will spare you for another 20 years. What do you make?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good creative question. I like that.
Oh man, I do not cook well.
Perfect meal.
Does a michelada count? If I make the best michelada.
Listen, Death. I'm ordering some hot wings, but I want you to drink this first.
Yeah, listen. I just get Death drunk, and then he'll forget about it.
DoorDash him some pizza.
I think I was gonna say some pizza, man, because like when you got good pizza, like you really can't do anything afterwards. Like you're just kind of like, yeah, that's some good pizza. But, like, I don't know.
I think I would have to go with spaghetti. I think I make a pretty decent bolognese with like ground beef and some bell peppers, onions, get it going with a little tomato, some like homemade sauce. I'm actually pretty good at it. I think that's what I would do. And then I would make sure that I cook the pasta right, perfect.
Al dente.
Al dente. I'd be like, Death, al dente or well cooked? Al dente? Okay, that's it. So I would make some pasta. Sophia, you would make a drink, and Geneva, you would make some.
So I would be the only one to die, is what you're saying. That's great. Awesome.
Yeah. We hardly knew ye. All right, and then the last question today comes from Feeling Like Teen Spirit.
Cute, very cute.
How would you handle a close friend of 20 years not reaching out for your birthday? No need to make a huge deal about it, but a simple happy birthday would have meant a lot. Reaches out to other friends on theirs, but didn't remember yours.
Fuck them.
Oh yes. Okay.
How to react? Well, I think you should be honest if it's a really good friend, and you should be like, hey, you missed my birthday. I'm a little bummed. I love you, and I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
If you're really tight, because then it's like they should put it in their calendar. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I bet they want to celebrate your birthday, but they literally forgot, you know?
Yeah.
Don't you think, though, that, I mean, how many birthdays do you remember without, like, Facebook reminding you of them?
Like none.
You know, like I know my mom's birthday, my brother and sister and dad's birthday, and my girl's birthday, and my stepson's birthday, but I think
That's pretty good. That's
and my older brother, I think, but that's it. Immediate family and relationships, but everybody else, even if I've known you for 40 years, unless I get that.
My birthday.
Your birthday is, I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm trying to remember when I saw you post the pictures of you being drunk, but that's every week.
It's over.
When's my birthday? Right back at you.
It's April, right?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Ah,
it is.
yeah.
Are you September? For some reason I want to say
No,
that.
you're close, but no.
Yeah. I remember Miguel. No.
Over.
I remember Miguel's birthday because it is January 27th, the day January 27th, 28th, right? Like my dad's. I remember his birthday because of that. I remember Miguel. That's my boy. So, but yeah, it's nothing personal. And even recently, me personally, I would always kind of comment on like close friends' birthday, like, because I mean, how many birthday posts do you get on I usually get like 150, 200. Out of those, it's usually maybe 50 to 70 that I actually care about. Then I'm like, oh man, thanks, I love this person. Everybody else is like, thanks. everybody else is like, okay, cool, thanks. I mean, but mostly people are doing it because it pops up on their feed, right?
Do you do that thing where do you like each one individually, or do you do that group message where at the end you're like, thank you everybody who sent me a message and made my day? Even
I respond to each person individually.
Oh,
and I do, especially if it's people that I care about. But I found myself over the last couple of months, as I was dealing with COVID and the stuff with my dad and everything, that I had it I didn't have the energy or the bandwidth to start to do that, even if it was somebody that I knew, and I just didn't have the energy to just be like, hey, happy birthday, blah, blah, post a picture of it or something like that. Even for people that were kind of close with it, I was just like hoping that they understood that I'm not in the right frame of mind to celebrate that with them. So,
yeah,
if it's okay to be hurt, reach out to them or something, but you also sort of have to understand that sometimes people, unless it's like close and stuff like that, then now it's like a lot of the birthday things you get are from just people that just are just only Facebook friends, and they see it and they just comment, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what happens to me a lot is that someone will share a story that's like on their birthday, you know what I mean? And they're like eating the cake already, and I'm like, oh shit, happy birthday, you know? I didn't know.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Or you see an invitation to a party.
Yeah, the context of the relationship matters, because if they're not super close, or like lately haven't been super close, then they probably just forgot. But if you guys are like besties, then I would say which is just talk to them, let them know how they felt. I'm sure they're gonna be like, I'm so sorry.
I would be like super passive aggressive. You're with them, just find a way to bring it up, you know. Yeah, I saw that movie on my birthday 2 weeks ago. Not that you said anything about it, you fucking asshole. I mean, if you're really your friend, just if they're really your friend, just put it out there.
Just drag them. Yeah.
Yeah, don't be ashamed. If they're your friend, if they're 20-year-old friends, say, hey, fuckface, why didn't you send me happy birthday notice? You fucking make me look bad, you fucking asshole. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, or something. I don't know. I mean, that's how I would handle it, I think.
Kinder words, but yes, that.
Yeah. It's the what is it? It's the thought that counts.
Exactly.
It's the thought that counts. Oh, we got a yawn. It's time to go. Wrapping it up. Actually, that was the last question. So I do want to ask our guests for one last thing, which is something that we ask our guests for, and that's just to give us a quick promo, if that's okay with you, Janeva.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just going to put you up on the big screen here solo, and all you got to say is, hey, this is Janeva. You can say from, Mas Latina or whatever, and saying you're watching Mi Gente Show with Big Chief Burrito and Sophia.
Okay, I'm nervous.
On the spot.
All right, you're on stage. All right, we can do multiple takes here if you want, so don't worry about it, all right?
Okay,
you ready?
Okay.
All right, here you go.
Take one.
Take one. Take one. Hold on a second. Let me put you on the big screen, all right? You ready?
Okay. Do I get an action?
All right, quiet on set. Let me get the clapper here. Hold on a second.
I'm gonna get the slate. Yep. Take one, scene one.
All right, and rolling. Soft sticks. Quiet on. Action.
This is Janeva, and I am on the show Mi Gente, which is really good. You should check it out. All right. Check the gate. All right, we're good, Geneva. Good job. All right, I want to thank our guests one more time for stopping by and hanging out. You have carte blanche to ever come in. Dizzy, thanks for contribution. Thanks for coming by. Yeah, make it a joke. Hey, you owe me a drink. You forgot my birthday. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's the way to do it. I want to make sure everybody remembers to follow us across all platforms. Make sure that you guys are going to. I'll just drop this one last time before we go, since I have it made. And again, follow Geneva on Instagram or Twitter by searching for her or Mas Latina. Follow myself at Big Chief Burrito on Twitter, at Sophia Carr as well. And thank you for everybody that contributed and was part of the show. Thank you for the submissions through No Namis Way. We'll probably be off next week because Comic-Con's coming, and we'll probably come back after that. Or I might try to record some live stuff that we can put together for you guys, or might do some IRL stuff live from there. But again, thanks, Geneva. I hope you had a good time.
I really did. You guys are super fun.
Aw, thanks for coming. Thanks for being here, Geneva.
Yeah.
All right. We'll be
Good
back in
night.
60 seconds. Goodbye, but we will talk to you later, Geneva. And thanks for everything. Peace out, mi gente.
Hasta luego, mi
Peace.
gente.
Bye.